sex is a god. Sex is a god. Now let me show us what Apostle Paul said in one of his writing in First Corinthians chapter 7. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 5. The Bible says, defraud he not defraud he not one another, except it be. Now that's after he must have said, if you go to verse 4 of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, it says, the wife had not power over her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband had not power over his own body, but the wife. Verse 5. Defraud he not one another, except it be with the consent for a time, that he may give yourself to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempts you not for your incontinency. Another translation says, for your lack of self-control. Now, sex is a god. In other words, even in marriage, sex is managed. I take it again. Even in marriage, sex is supposed to be managed. So a couple that you are married to her doesn't mean you have sex every night. That's a case. It's no longer marital enjoyment. It's now what we call possession. He said for a period of time, even the couples should give themselves for prayers and fasting, that the devil should not pass through the lack of self-control and penetrate into their marriage. When you look at the society at large, you understand one thing, just one. Everything that is happening in the 21st century is all about sex. You go to the music industry, it's all about sex. You go even in the gospel music, you see a gospel artist who is a lady dressing and portraying all her sexual part in her dress. Either they put a tight skirt that will portray their buttocks like okay, or they put the one up without bra. Everything about them is seduction. Something that must kill a man's spirit. Something that must attack a man's spirit. The world at large. You go even in some churches, you will not differentiate between the choir there and a nightclub section. You will not even differentiate between those who are in nightclub and those who are in the choir in that church. Why? Because there is no difference. The demon of sexual perversion is taking all over the place. In every city, there are demons of perversion that controls the territorial surrounding. They control the territorial atmosphere of that city. And they pour in their perversion. Those who are not spiritual, when they enter such a city, immediately they are baptized into perversion. Before they know it, they are already perverse. And those who are not spiritually sensitive will never see some of these things in cities. But each time you enter a town or a city, there are demons of perversion controlling that city. They do their incantation, their enchantment throughout the night, and less spiritual false victim. That's why you start getting the rise of lesbianism, homosexuality, bestiality, where a man will open his anus and surrender to another man, or a lady will not desire a man but rather desire a lady, or you see a man will not desire a human being but desire an animal. It happens in some European countries where it's even legal. Those are nations that are controlled by the demons of perversion. You even go to some ministries, you see a situation where a spiritual father has slept with all the spiritual daughters. Anything scared in the church, he deals with it. Sexual perversion controlling the society. That's what we call sex is a god. It's a god that many have not yet realized. Even in some marriages, that is legal. They have paid dowry, but the god of sex is controlling the marriage. Because these couples cannot control themselves. For a time, Apostle Paul said, give yourself to prayer and fasting, that the devil should not pass through your lack of self-control and destroy your home. You see a brother in church who speaks in tongues, and you will think that when they speak like that, angels will fall. But this same brother will go and attend a concert, a conference, held by ladies who dress half naked in the name of fashion parade, washing another woman's buttocks, and is making wow. The god of sexual perversion at work. You see believers following series that are highly possessed, like this rubbish they call Big Brother Niger. Highly demonic. Full of sexual perverting actions. And you will see a Christian brother following it. And then when somebody wins that rubbish, he will be the first to go under and say, God has blessed you. Say, wow, God has really blessed you. And the question is, which God? Bless what? There are many gods. It is only them who know the God they are calling. He can never be the God of heaven. It may be the God of their sexual kingdom. It may be the God of their perversion. It may be the God of their indecency. There are diversities of gods. It may be the God of makeup, a God of naked projections. But one thing you should understand is that sex is a God. And as a believer, your first prayer